Morning students, and welcome back to history class after the summer holidays. Dear students, because of the particular situation, we are not able to start the regular class and we will continue the online classes we had before the summer holidays. Okay. Teachers will upload their videos in Campus Care app and you are asked to see the videos regularly. It is good to watch the video with a headphone, and while watching the video, keep a notebook and a pen for writing some points. So wish you all a wonderful academic year ahead and hope we can start our regular classes soon. Okay, students. And we are learning about the revolt of 1857 in history. And we have completed the political, religious and economic causes. And one point is remaining, that is about the military causes. In this video, we will learn about the military causes for this great uprising of 1857. We have already learned about the revolt of 1857. What was it? We have learned, revolt of 1857 was the first mass uprising of the people of India against the British Raj. That is why it was known as the anti-Raj uprising of 1857. British Raj, the British Empire, the British government. And we have learned about their political, what we can say, policies, In order to expand their territory, we have learned they played a number of foul games in India. We have learned about the Doctor of Labs. Okay, please remember that one. And then we have learned about the economic factors. We have learned the most important reason for the uprising was the economic policies of the Britishers in India. We know that there was a drain of Indian wealth to England, and we have learned the economic exploitation followed by the Britishers in India. Okay, and their economic policies did not support the Indians. Instead, it troubled the Indian farmers, workers. Okay, please revise the lesson. And now it is about the military causes. Okay, the last cause for the great uprising of 1857. Okay, that is the East India Company's policies towards the soldiers of the British Indian Army were not fair. Their policies towards the soldiers, they had an army and there were many Indians in this army. Okay, please remember. And their policies toward the Indian soldiers were not good. For example, the company authorities ill-treated the Indian soldiers. A company here, please remember, the East India Company. Until the revolt, so there was the East India Company. You will learn the result of the revolt. East India Company's rule ended. Okay, that we will learn afterwards. Okay, the company authorities ill-treated the Indian soldiers. Their food, their accommodation were not good. Okay, the food of the soldiers, their housing facilities or accommodation were not good. The soldiers had enough freedom to follow their religious beliefs and customs. They denied this. They denied means the East India Company denied this. Okay, please remember. Now, in 1856, the British Parliament passed the General Service Enlistment Act. So please remember the year. 1856. So the British Parliament passed an act means a law, introduced a law. It was known as the General Service Enlistment Act. according to this act, the Indian soldiers had to go overseas on duty. We can say with a view to send the Indian soldiers to other countries, the British Parliament passed an act in 1856. It was known as the General Service Enlistment Act. But this act hurt the feelings of the Brahmin soldiers because, according to traditional belief, it was a taboo. Taboo means a social custom prohibiting or restricting a particular practice. While passing the act, the Britishers did not consider their feelings. So once again, in 1856, so the British Parliament passed an act. It was known as the General Service Enlistment Act, with a view to send the Indian soldiers overseas. Because the Britishers had colonies in other continents also, so to protect their colonies, they wanted the service of the Indian soldiers. That is why they introduced this law in India. But according to a traditional belief, no, for the Brahmin soldiers, crossing the sea was something prohibited. So while passing or while introducing this law, the British Parliament did not consider the feelings of the Indian soldier. That is why, they turned against the Britishers. Who turned against the Britishers? Mostly the Brahmin soldiers in the army. Next factor was the number of Indian soldiers and the British soldiers in the army. What was the ratio between these two soldiers? Ratio. There were more Indian soldiers in the army. More Indian soldiers in the British army than the English soldiers. This gave a confidence to the Indian soldiers to take arms against company. The ratio or the large number of soldiers, Swedish soldiers, Indian soldiers in the British army gave them a confidence. The ratio, please remember. Then, and in the army, all higher positions were reserved for the Britishers only. So, what was the chance of promotions for the Indian soldiers? It was bleak. Not fair. So, their promotion chances were very, very poor. Whose promotion chances? The Indian soldiers and their promotion chances were bleak, up to Subedar only. And all other higher posts were reserved for the British soldiers. They did not consider, the British government did not consider the feelings, abilities of the Indian soldiers. Indians were very, very able, no? But the British soldiers did not consider these abilities. This was not a criteria for the promotion for the Indian soldiers. Again, the company denied the allowances of the Indian soldiers they had before. Means the East India Company denied all the allowances of the Indian soldiers that they enjoyed. Allowances. Another thing that gave a confidence to the Indian soldiers was that the East India Company authority did not appoint English soldiers in some important places like Allahabad and Delhi. We can say faulty disposal of the soldiers. Wrong disposal. They did not, East India Company did not appoint British soldiers in key places or important places. It was a matter of confidence for the Indian soldiers. Again, the British had fought many battles in other places and they tired. So the Indian soldiers decided to exploit this situation. So before 1857, before the revolt, the British soldiers fought a number of battles in various other places and they tired. So the Indian soldiers decided to exploit this situation. And the performance of the English army in many wars were not good. They had many setbacks, failures. These incidents revealed the true fact that the British were not invincible. So there was a feeling, no, what was that feeling? Britishers were what we can say invincible. But these battles all what we can change that myth. Finally, the Indian soldiers had a low salary than the English soldiers. So what was the salary of the Indian soldiers and the English soldiers? Both, for example, both had the same rank. But Indian soldiers had a very less salary than the British soldiers. Low wage we can say. Okay. Their salary was very, very low. Okay. So because of these factors, there was a feeling of discontent and unrest in the Indian soldiers. So because of that treatment, Indian soldiers were not very happy. Okay. So here we have learned their promotion chances, their salary, okay, and the freedom of the Indian soldiers, okay. Then we have learned about the passing of the General Service Enlistment Act in 1856. All this created what we call a discontent among the Indian soldiers. Okay. So these are the various military factors that caused the revolt of 1857. Okay, military factors. Please revise the lesson if you have the textbook. No, textbooks are available in the office. Okay, you have to purchase. All the textbooks are available except bio. Okay, this geography. No, please it will come. So please purchase the textbooks from the Bardaya office and please revise the lessons according to the video. Okay, so we have completed the various causes for the revolt like political, economic, socio-religious, and now in this video the military causes. Okay, then in the next video we will learn about the immediate cause for the war, means how did the war start and the role played by Mangal Pandey. Okay, so in the next video we will learn about the beginning of the revolt and the various events, and in the same video I will explain the various results of the revolt. Okay, so who was Mangal Pandey and what was role played by Mangal Pandey. Okay, and the beginning of the revolt. After the beginning of the revolt, okay, what happened in various centers like Kanpur, Lucknow, Jhansi, Delhi. Okay, then we will learn about the results. Okay, so please revise the textbook. I already said in the beginning of this video, no, please use a headphone, and while watching the video, please keep a notebook and a pen, and you have to write some points, okay, during your watching. Okay, thank you.